Yo, we better see that picture in the credits. This is some bullshit. I mean, to be fair, at least one character is unironically saying there's something wrong with this bozo. Yo, she broke his arm. That's up. Yo, Chris Hansen's on his way, bozo. The return of Grand Blue Season 2 must be studied because within the first 2 episodes of this show, they upped the ante to such a degree that we went from, okay, yep, you know, people thought they were getting down and dirty to, oh, you thought the siscon was going to be enough? Oh no, we're going to introduce a brocon, oh, but with a twist. How they have not been killed, arrested, or worse must be studied. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like, share your support. Let me know if you want to see more videos on this one in the future. Subscribe if you're new around here, and Patreon is where I keep my full live reactions to every single episode of this Grand Blue nonsense. So, just peeked the first 2 episodes of Season 2 today, and what a goddamn treat. Now, they end the first episode with everyone, I think, more or less probably thinking the same thing. Okay, we already had siscon trope to begin with. These two were a little too obsessed to begin with. Well, granted, it was one-sided, but still, you know, we ended with basically, we're gonna have to marry if we want to keep our nuts. We can do all we want with her, but not out of wedlock. Oh boy, my boy was ready to, he didn't even want a prenup, he just wanted to save his life, and I kind of respect it. And then we're like, okay, so we're gonna bring in now Iori's sister, who is very much giving that obsessive nature. I'm thinking it's going to be a clash of siscon kind of energy, but obviously this time targeted a brother and one targeting a sister. So, color me surprised when it turns out, oh no, she hates this man's guts. Well, if you hate his guts, why would you play up the tee-hee, I'm the little sister, no one can have big bro but me? Seemingly she just wants his bitch ass back home so she doesn't have to inherit the family's, like, you know, shit. And because he's such a failure of a son, he probably isn't going to be given the responsibility. I do like that they didn't, like, beat around the bush, because I think a blind man could see they wanted you to assume at some point in the story's run, she would hate him a little less, and the kind of, like, I actually am being tee-hee sister around him would become real. And they didn't, like, jump the gun with it. They didn't just go immediately into 100%, but we go from, I play pretend, but I hate his guts, to, I play pretend, but I don't hate him that much. So pretty massive progress for, you know, a span of an episode. And I guess for the concept of their actual relationship, it's been, you know, probably 14 years or something. They say, like, she's 3rd year middle school or something, so she's, like, approaching the end of her middle school journey. So basically prime prey for Kohei. That man, he needs the cops called on him. Since beginning the show, I've assumed if we checked his hard drive, we'd have something to the equivalent of the Rurouni Kenshin author. If you know, you know. But the way this man was ready to sell his kidney just to take a whiff at this man's sister. It went from, like, he's like, this is my life savings. And then somehow another bill appeared. He's like, I swear to God, this is... The more, like, cute little sister dynamic she gave off, the more he was willing to give. I wasn't sure what to expect with Season 2. As someone who just watched Season 1, like, literally, I finished Season 1 a couple of days ago. So all this is fresh. They immediately just came out swinging. I mean, the first half of Episode 1 is kind of like, okay, it's chill, it's stupid, it's like, okay, we're gonna send letters back home. Dear sweetest sister of mine. From Iori. Just nothing worth explaining. And then it evolved into, okay, make sure when we're not around, you guys don't get down and dirty. And my boy's like, listen, there's a picture. I need to see that picture, but she's keeping the picture on her ass cheek. I thought for sure we were going to build into a little more cliche. Her getting misunderstood, like, wait, is he into me? And tee-hee, I'm embarrassed. No, being best girl. I know you want the picture, you pig. Rips that shit up, but also kind of tackled on the bed. And the way she walks in and she became Higurashi character and just was ready to rip his neck off. Like, I'm like, you have had so many moments where you seemed genuinely happy that he was interested in her. But apparently you're, like, super Christian about it, that if we're gonna get that freaky, we gotta be married. Glorious. Just an amazing return. This has been, what, 7 years since season 1 aired. I think it was, what, a 2018, 2019 show? Something like that. It's been a hot minute either way. And as someone who recently watched season 1, I can safely say there is a slight difference with the visuals. Even though mostly, seemingly, the studio is the same. I think the first season was only 0G, and now it's 0G plus another studio. But either way, it does look like Grand Blue, but there is a slight difference with the character models. And some people are going to say I'm crazy. I'm not saying this is as like an insult. I'm saying it just like objectively there is a slight difference. Like season 1 had a lot sharper, like, I don't know, like the jaw lines and everything was just a lot sharper looking. Not as like it was better looking because of the detail, just like the jaggedness of the character models. Whereas season 2, everything feels a little more round. Naturally, it's been a hot minute, so whether or not closer to the source material, whatever, it does just have a slight difference that took me a little bit to get used to because I had just watched season 1. But yeah, it basically looks like the equivalent of so many different shows I've seen where it's like, oh, you know, you watch season 1 and you can tell probably season 2 was done by a different studio, but still looks like the show. I'm not going to say it looks better or worse objectively because it mostly looks like what Grand Blue looked like. It's just there's a general slight shift in the art direction. Where it does remain identical is the over-exaggerated reactions like Iori and everyone like that, but it just definitely feels like the character faces are a little more rounded this time around, which isn't a bad thing, just took a little bit to get used to. I'm sure there'll be some people who will say it looks identical, but I'm telling you, if you take, you know, just some static shots of season 1 and 2 characters, there is a little difference there. Not that it's bad, just that it's a little different. Also, wasn't like the biggest fan of the opening song in season 1. I didn't hate it. It was good. It just wasn't really my cup of tea. I much prefer season 2's. I think it's just really good. But I like it. It's funny. It's dumb as hell. And just when you think they can't up the ante anymore, they do so effortlessly. Will I cover this one on YouTube? Honestly, no idea. The video I did for season 1 didn't do like amazing. It didn't do horrible, but you know, it's not really giving the indication there's a demand for it on YouTube. I'm welcome to be proven wrong, but I highly suspect this will be a Patreon exclusive, but I definitely want to give at least a first impressions of season 2, because this shit needs to be studied the way they can, like, the way my boy, like, immediately went to call the police when he realized just how bad he was, brought me great joy. Fantastic. So you let me know what you're thinking of season 2. If you want videos on season 2 on YouTube, let me know down in the comment section below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course, ring that bell. And yes, Patrons, where my full live reactions will live no matter what, alongside other exclusives like, hey, I give video shoutouts to every single one of my patrons. Alright, so today we got Kieran Dean, The Legend of Sora 73, Humanoid, Shadow, Askar, Armana, Kev, Joanne, and we also have Devil May Carter. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care. Y'all have a good one.